Welcome engineers to Racengineer. Problem. Today's problem is making a setup for Qatar and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. If you did not check out the previous video where we did the race around Saudi Arabia, check out the card in the top right corner because spoilers in 3, 2, 1. We won our second Grand Prix of the season and we close our gap to Verstappen down to 66 points. The reason I don't seem too impressed by that is because of two things. One being it is again 11 PM when I record this, same as the Bahrain GP episode, and Max was 20th at lap 10 of lap 50 in that race and came back to finish second. So we've got a formidable opponent this season, which is why we need to get this setup. So let's go straight to Qatar. And obviously, when making a setup and within the garage, I'm just going to let my stream self-talk let you find out what I was thinking about.
I realise I've got my telemetry app open, I don't need it.
Speaking of the telemetry app, why don't I need it open? Well, the reason I have it open normally is because I use it to look at what tyre my championship rival is on.
I can surprisingly do a lap with 63 brake fire.
And obviously in time trial, there is no tyres to look at, and so it's kind of a bit useless in time trial. But at the moment I am thinking of a way to make it more useful, of course. Doing the setup then. For this first run, obviously on the base setups, including base brake bias for whatever reason.
But it's a good first try. Right, I need to realign my chair.
I can't believe I accidentally left this in.
I'm just going to keep moving it after every run until it feels right.
Really?
What are these guys doing? Just the usual. Nice. I don't know why I started changing the wings.
In case you want to find out why I am doing this at 11 PM, it's because I have been doing one episode a day, but the one episode then goes out immediately after. And in case I'm not able to do something because I'm busy with uni or something, I need some backup. So starting from yesterday, 1st of October, I've been doing 2 a day, and I am making sure that I'm doing 2 a day, which also is making me sleep deprived. I'm sure it's fine. I've stayed up till midnight
reaching
before.
200 before the line. I can
Multiple
put on
times.
some wing.
Anywho, let's actually talk about the setup. Previous run we didn't feel happy with the wings, so we changed them heading into this run, and in this one we start out with a 34.0.
The speed.
Heading on to the second lap, we do a much better lap time, doing a 22.9. There was obviously a mistake on the first lap, which I didn't realise because I forgot what lap times you're supposed to do around Qatar. On the third lap, we matched the second one, doing another 22.9. And on the fourth and final lap, we come across the line to do a 22.9 again. So pretty consistent setup. If you ignore the mistake, of course. And obviously this bit is me realigning the wheel. Why did I move it?
Okay, my chair is really stubborn to move.
April. Why did I move it in April?
More so the pedals than the actual chair.
Did I decide to actually hoover the area around my chair? Is that why it moved? I might have. Huh. Anyway, yeah, at some point I misaligned my wheel, and this is me fixing it. On the first lap we did a 22.7, breaking our personal best, which is always a good sign of the setup. Across the second lap we also set another personal best, doing a quicker 22.7. On the third lap we come across the line green again to do a 22.6. Whether all three of those laps are valid is a different question, because we come across the line on the fourth lap to do a 22.8, and it was a 10th down, so the 22.6 probably survived. So the setup feels pretty good, but we want to get some more straight line speed in case we have to overtake people, so we reduced the front wing. And our first lap was a 23.0, so it suggests that it's not quite the direction you want to go. On the second lap we come across the line to do a 23.7, definitely not the right direction you want to go. On the third lap can go better, quicker. We do a little bit to a 23.1, but not really where you want to be. Why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep accidentally putting in just a whole random lap? On the fourth one we did a 23.4
yeah, that's definitely not the way to go.
to finish. So we're happy with the straight line speed, but not quite the
It's better,
aerodynamic
consistent
ability. So we want to change the suspension instead of the wings. First lap we did a 22, which is always good. Coming across the second lap we did a 22.5, which is great. The third lap going green again, doing a 22.7 though. Take with that what you will. And on the fourth and final lap we do a 22.9.
It's quite good, I'm just not quite unlocking that potential.
So at the moment the problem isn't really with the setup, it is more with the invalidating laps.
Now.
Doing a 22.3 on the first lap, a massive improvement on the previous ones.
Okay.
Coming across for the second lap though, yeah, still good lap with 22.7. On the third lap we come across the line with a massive green delta again.
When I get the 410.
And do a 22.3. These two 22.3s being invalid though, because across for the fourth lap, 3/10 above, and we do a 22.3 again. This time though, you would have seen in the top left, saving game, which meant that one was valid, so it counted.
Under 3 seconds, nice. Why do you play with both? Yeah. Hopefully that was an angle change, not position change for my chair.
Why does that sound like a door opening? Anywho, we're happy with the setup. Not really happy with the driving because we keep invalidating. 22.6 to begin the first lap. And so we want to change the setup so that we can avoid going off the track all the time. 22.7 on the second lap, so the consistency is there on this one. The pace not so much, but obviously with the confidence and that, it probably would. 22.6 on the third lap, pretty good if you ask me. And on the fourth lap, going green, so the pace is there, doing a 22.4. Straight line speed not so much because we lost it. We lost the delta
Get
going
really close to it.
into turn, downstream.
I think I'm probably going the wrong way with the wings. Maybe completely the wrong idea as well.
So we go with a more straight line speed wing setup and counteract that with a more downforce ride height. And it gives us a 22.3 on the first lap and matched by a 22.4 on the second lap. Hopefully those are both valid. As we come across the line for the third lap, doing a 37.8 after a mistake in the middle sector somewhere. And on the fourth lap, we come across the line to match the 2 laps from the beginning of a 22.6 with a 22.6.
I was hoping
so we're making good progress with the setup. Just as long as we can make it in a way where it helps us stay on the circuit, that's good. 22.4 for the first lap is always a good start. Quickly matched by a 22.5 on the second lap. I am ignoring my stream self quite a bit. And on the third lap, we do a 22.9, not quite where we want to be, but it's still within the 22s. And on the fourth lap, we complete the run with a 22.7.
And now turn back. Okay, so that was reducing 3 on the suspension. That was lowering the ride height. That was increasing the wing, and that was... okay.
Well, it would have been helpful if you told me what that fourth one was, because I don't remember. I apparently have a short memory. First lap was a 22.9. Second lap we invalidated both this one and the next one, but we did a 22.5. And on the third lap we invalidated both laps again, but we did a 22.6. And lastly, on the fourth lap, we made a mistake in the middle sector. Obviously, with an invalidated lap, you don't really care. And we did a 49.4.
Okay, now for the 4 laps on the best setup. I just want to check something. Point 4.6 and the turbo lap. It's got to be that one. Got
what was I?
2.
What was I checking for there? I was checking for which setup was the more consistent one. In the end, I settled with the one that was the quickest because I believed I could.
Love it.
do a good job with the consistency. On the second lap we did 22.6. I wasn't looking at what we did for the first lap because the way I've got it set up. Third lap we did a 22.9. Not really where the pace wants to be. Did I miss a lap? I missed a lap. God damn it. Why do I keep doing that?
Wonder if it will allow me this time. Yep, okay.
Anywho, that's the setup done with. I didn't get the race director. I forgot about it. In the end, the best lap was lap 33. Not really consistent, but it'll do. Qatar's always gone good for us anyway, so it's not that bad. On to Abu Dhabi then. Running with the default setup, see what we can get. First lap was seemingly good. Second lap, come across line for 24.9. On the third lap, we started at green. Can we finish it green? No, not quite. A little bit off the ghost. And we come across the line to do a 24.5. And on the fourth lap, go wide into the final corner, invalidate the lap, and do a 24.6.
Okay, so yeah. $21.1. Oh, we're fine. We're there. Cool.
So we go back out on an top time trial time inspired setup, and we do the first lap with a 24.9. Not quite where we want to be going in terms of changing pace. On the second lap seems to be much better. We do a 23.7, getting into the 23s for the first time. On the third lap we're a little bit further back than that lap, and we do a 24.1. Still right direction, it's still right area though, and we come across the line for the fourth and final lap of the run, doing a 24.0. So the obvious feedback from that stint was that we needed more downforce, so we apply that and go again. 24.0 to begin the stint, and on the second lap we're pretty close to the ghost and do a 23.8, which is a good pace at the moment. Third lap seemed to be a little bit further back than we would like, and come across the line to do a 24.5. Not really consistent, so we'll have to change setup. And on the fourth and final lap we come across the line doing a 23.9.
What? I didn't mean to press that button. How high can I go?
So there is some consistency, but we want to go get even more consistent. So we change the setup, and our first lap is a 24.4. Seem to have lost the pace a little bit, but we come across the line with a 24.2 on the second lap, so consistency is kind of there. And on the third lap, seemingly even closer to the ghost, doing a 23.8. And on the fourth lap, literally right behind the ghost, doing a 23.6. So the consistency's not really there, but we got quicker across the stints, and maybe it's a good setup.
Okay, I've got a bit of a blocked nose. That's wonderful.
Hey, so do I. I bet your throat isn't sore though.
I guess I can keep increasing the wings.
That's not normally how you
They
respond to
seem
that.
to have no.
Anywho, we increase the rings and go back out. And for the first lap, we do a 24-1. Not really where we want to go, I guess. It is quite heavy. There's a bit of focus on the straight line speed.
Consistently slow.
24-2 on the second lap. And so increasing the downforce has not quite worked in the favour in the way that we wanted. But we're kind of there. It's not the mid 24s that we have been doing previously. So it's a step in the right direction at least. So as long as we keep the stability of the setup, we should be fine. Just try and improve the pace of it now. First lap on the new setup, we do a 23.9, so the pace is seemingly there. Second lap, we're close to ghost again, doing a 23.7. So the pace is pretty good at the moment. The setup change has worked. On the third lap, we do a 23.7 again. And if we do it to another 23 on this fourth lap, it'd be a good setup, and we just keep looking for pace. Doing a 23.7.
Well, if the first 2 laps were like those last 2 laps, pretty consistent. So that was the default. That's the default wings. Increased wings to 30. Increased to 35. Increased to 40. Decrease. Okay, so I'm getting close to the sweet spot.
So obviously,
Maybe if I
we're
go
trying
to the other side.
No, I forgot. So we're trying to optimize the wing setup before we move on to suspension, which is always a good idea, because then you're not going to flick between the two, and you probably will need to at the end, so it's better if you just need to make small changes to the wing instead of big ones. Second lap we do a 23.7, and this is what we did on the first lap. On the third lap though, come across the line to do a 23.9, so consistency is there as well. And on the fourth lap, we come across the line with a 23.7. So, did we increase or decrease the wings? If we decrease, we'll keep it because straight line speed, boom, and it doesn't come at a deficit of pace. And if we increase, then we decrease because straight line speed. So we make a small change. I didn't actually see what it was. I'm really poor at paying attention apparently. 23.6 to begin the stint is always nice. On the second lap, we do another 23.6. And on the third lap, we come across the line to do a 23.9.
Saved it at the end though.
And on the fourth lap of the stint, we go green and complete the stint with a 23.3.
Nicely done.
Not really consistent, seeing as there was a 6/10 range. But the pace is there, which is always a good sign. So we make a small change again, and unfortunately it didn't help us stay on the circuit.
But that ain't going well.
Did a 23.6, but going wide at the final corner, invalidating the first 2 laps. Go wide at the final corner again, invalidating the third lap.
Not really.
We did do a 23.7 though. On the said third lap, invalidated, so we're just trying to play cautious. But we were able to go and do a 23.6, and on the fourth and final lap, go green by a small bit, get on the curb, and
it wasn't
lose
faster,
time.
but I think
But
it was
a
easier to be consistent.
23 is still good.
0.6, 0.7, 0.6, 0.3. 0.6, 0.6, 0.9, 0.3. That second lap being a 0.7 is what saved this setup.
I accidentally caught a spot in between my eyes, so I was not looking at what that setup change was. Seemed to be a good one, because our first lap was a 23.5. Our second lap, pretty close to the ghost, was another 23.5. And our third lap, another 23.5 would be wonderful. Not quite, a 23.7. It's still alright though. And on the fourth lap, if we can beat a 23.6, it'd be quite nice. Not quite, we do a 23.9.
Well, that didn't quite work as well as I thought it would.
Agreed.
0.5, 0.5, 0.7, 0.9.
So I actually looked at what the setup change was that time. It was a decrease in rear by rear suspension by 5. Seemed to do a good job. 23.5 on the first lap. Second lap, we pair it with a 23.7. So it's beginning to look the same as the previous stint. We could do a 23.6 on the third lap. And on the fourth lap, if we can do another one similar, it's a good setup. And we do, going even quicker, doing a 23.4. One for each tenth. Unfortunately, 2 of them were invalidated.
4, 5,
though.
6, 7.
After changing the rear suspension and seemingly doing a good job, we move over to the ride height, decreasing that to see if we can gain a little bit of extra downforce. Seemingly doing a 23.2 on the first lap. Can we keep that, get some consistency though? Yeah, not quite, doing a 23.6 on the second lap. 4 attempts is still not that bad. See if we can close it in a bit. Nope, we just smashed it out of the park by doing a 22.7. On the fourth lap though, can we get close to that lap again? Get kind of close, doing a 23.0. And that was it. I didn't realise we were at the end. I don't know why, because I can see it on the timeline. So that's the best setup. Pretty good if you ask me. 22.7 is always nice to do. Especially around Abu Dhabi. I don't think I've done many 22s, so to even just get into there is pretty good. Same with 23s, especially when you look at the beginning of the session. We were in the mid 24s, and by the end we were low 23s, which is always good with a setup. Quite a few invalidated, not as many as Qatar. Obviously I'm not able to show you Qatar because I forgot to look at them, but I do look at them kind of during some of the end of some of the stints. But that is that. Join me again in the next 2 videos for the Qatar and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and I'll hand you over to the stream self to do the outro. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Anyway,
bye.
That's it for today. Join me again tomorrow for the Qatar GP. It's going to be a long one, it's a sprint. And yeah, if you enjoyed today, join me tomorrow. And if you enjoyed tomorrow, why not follow me on Twitch and on YouTube under the same name. Anyway, that is it for today. I'll see you whenever. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.